All right, let's talk about language. Have you ever really stopped to think about how a bunch of words can just work? Like, how do they team up to actually mean something? Don't worry, this isn't going to be some boring grammar class. Think of this as a look under the hood of English to see how it's all put together. Let's get into it.
So it really all boils down to this one question. How does a jumble of words on a page suddenly click and make sense in our brains? Well, it's not magic, not at all. It's a system. And I promise, once you see the system, you'll see it everywhere. You know, the easiest way to wrap your head around it is to think of it like a sports team. Let's call it the grammar team. Every single word you see in a sentence is a player, and each one has a super specific role, a job to do. If you can understand what each player's job is, you'll understand the whole game.
So just like any good team, you've got your core players, the ones you just can't play the game without. In our grammar team, those are the noun and the verb. These two are the absolute bedrock of any sentence.
First up is the noun. This is your star player, your MVP. Its whole job is to name something, a person, a place, a thing, or even an idea. The noun answers the big question. Who or what are we actually talking about here? It's the main character of our story.
Take a look. Each of these highlighted words is a noun. Rahud is a person. The school is a place. A tiger is a thing. And honesty, that's an idea. They're all the stars of their own little sentences. Pretty straightforward, right? But a star player just sitting there isn't very exciting. They need an action hero. And that's where the verb comes in. The verb is the word that tells us what our star player is doing, or maybe just what it is. This is where all the energy and movement in a sentence comes from.
The action hero tells us what's happening. What am I doing? I eat. What's she doing? She runs. Now, sometimes it isn't a big action. It's just a state of being, like in, we are happy. But every single sentence has to have one of these to feel alive.
Okay, so we've got our noun and our verb. Technically, we have a sentence. But let's be honest, it's probably a little bland. This is where the supporting cast comes in. These are the players that add all the fun stuff. The color, the detail, the context.
So let's meet the team's stylist, the adjective. An adjective's whole reason for being is to make our star player, the noun, look more interesting. It describes it. It answers questions like, what kind is it? Or how many are there? So you see, it's not just some random boy. He's a tall boy. It's not just any apple. It's a red one. And her voice isn't just a voice. It's sweet. The adjective gives us a much clearer picture in our heads. And this just shows you the difference so perfectly. The school. Okay, sure. It's a complete thought. But the big school? Ah, now you're painting a picture. That one little word from our stylist makes all the difference.
Next up, we've got the director on our team, the adverb. Now, if the adjective is the noun's personal stylist, then the adverb is the verb's director. It tells our action hero how to do the action. How, when, where. The adverb has all the answers.
How does she sing? She sings well. How does he run? Quickly. When am I going to come? Tomorrow. Adverbs give us those crucial details about what's happening. And sometimes, like in very cute, they can even direct another describing word to turn up the volume a bit. And you can feel the difference immediately, can't you? She runs. That's a fact. But she runs quickly. Now that starts to tell a story. That is the power of our director, the adverb. Okay, our players have style, they have direction, but they need a place to perform. That's the job of our location scout, the preposition. This handy little word shows relationships, often by putting our star player somewhere in space or in time. You can see how these words, on, to, at, create all the context we need. Where's the book? It's on the table. Where does she go? To school. When will we meet? At 5 p.m. These little location scouts place everything exactly where it needs to be. So what happens when you have two great ideas, or two players who need to be linked up? You need the glue. And that's the conjunction. This player's one and only job is to join things together. Words, phrases, even whole sentences. It's the ultimate connector. Words like and, but, and until are the real workhorses of our language. They let us take simple ideas and combine them into much more interesting, complex thoughts. They basically let our sentences grow up. Now, our team also has some specialists that just make the whole game run a lot smoother. First up, we have the stand-in, the pronoun. I mean, imagine having to say your friend's name over and over again in a story. It'd get old fast, right?
The pronoun steps in to make things way more efficient.
So instead of saying Rahul is my brother, once we know we're talking about Rahul, we can just say he is my brother. Easy. He, she, it, they, they're all just stand-ins for our star player.
And finally, every great team needs some energy from the sidelines, right? They need a cheerleader. And on our grammar team, that's the interjection. This player isn't really connected to the rest of the sentence, grammatically. It just kind of jumps in to shout out a sudden feeling or emotion.
Wow. Oh no. Hey, these are just little bursts of feeling. They add so much personality and emotion, and frankly, they make our language sound a lot more human. And there it is, the complete grammar team roster. From your star player noun and your action hero verb, all the way to the stylist, the director, the glue, and even the cheerleader. Every single one has a really important and unique job to do when you're building a sentence.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's that grammar isn't just a bunch of dusty old rules you have to memorize. Not at all. It's a toolkit. It's a team of players. And now, you know the whole roster. You're not just watching the game anymore. You're the coach. So I gotta ask, what sentence are you gonna build next?